Hi folks, Rick Berube here, Vice President of Sales of Berkshire Hathaway of Arizona, California, and Nevada. And today I want to talk to you about old expired listings. Now we know, well, I shouldn't say everybody, a lot of people call the new expireds. Okay, but what a lot of people forget are the old expireds. So what are old expireds? I would say anything 30 days or older. And people ask me, well, how far back would you go? I'd go back 4 years. That's right, I said it, 4 years. Why 4 years? Let me give you the, let's use Nevada, for instance, Las Vegas market. There's about 1,000 expireds every single month. Now that number's going down. It's like probably 750 now. But for the longest time, it was about 1,000. Of that, so that's 12,000 a year. Every single year in Las Vegas, about 12,000 expireds. 80% of them relist within 48 hours, of the ones that are going to. And then there's a certain amount that don't relist, otherwise known as the old expireds. Now, there are a lot of people calling the new expireds within a week or two, but very few people call them after that. As a matter of fact, if you're newer in the business, it's a tremendous database. It's like a farm which statistically, okay, move before anybody else. So I'm not going to say it's almost as good as an SOI, but not quite. The return won't be quite as good. But for somebody who's brand new or somebody who's seasoned, you go back for 4 years. So how do you do that? Well, wait a minute. Am I going to have to go in MLS and cross-reference the address and see? No, the easiest one I can think of, and I'm sure LandVoice and Mojo, and I know Vulcan 7 does this, but the easiest one I can think of is RedX. RedX does this. You can go back as far as you want because RedX actually goes in MLS as you, basically, with your credentials, and you just plug in whatever time frame. Go back as far as you want. I personally would go back 1 year at a time because I would want to know which year I was in, okay? So if there's 1,000 every month, and there are, and you go back, you're probably going to get between 50 to 100, call it 75 every single month. Every time I hear somebody actually follow this advice, those are the numbers they give me. It's about 75. Think about that, 75 a month. That's right, you're going to have probably if you go back 4 years, you're going to have 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 phone numbers in. But what better people can you call than people who are thinking about moving even a year ago, 2 years ago? Now, think about this. I was on the market 3 years ago, and I didn't sell. Okay, my equity position has gotten better. I paid down my loan. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons why it makes more sense for them to move right now. Property values have gone up. Things have changed. But statistically, even if they were moving before and changed their mind, they usually move before anybody else. Okay, so how do you call them? Well, I came up with a little script that's in the Book of Everything. So if you haven't come to the Success Series recently, come to the Success Series, all 3 markets, Las Vegas, Phoenix, and Orange County. Okay, so I go over all of that, but we have a book called the Book of Everything, and in the Book of Everything is an old expired script that goes like this. Hi, this is Rick Berube with Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices. I see you were on the market a while back and your home didn't sell. I was calling to see when you plan on getting it back on the market and getting it sold this time. And you're going to hear all kinds of things. No, we were on the market a year ago and we might be moving in a year or two. You're going to compile a tremendous amount of leads during this way too. You're also going to get appointments right away. You know, it's so funny you calling me. All right. Now, I would use an auto dialer myself, and I would have each one of these in a file, like Mojo, for instance, each one of these in a file, 2016, 2015, 2014, and I would systematically go through them and then go back through them a few times a year, even when they don't answer. I wouldn't leave a message. But even when they don't answer, it's working because they have caller ID. All right, they see you calling. They're going to recognize you over time calling consistently. Okay, now does that matter? Nope, until they have to sell, then it does matter. Then they're like, look at this person. This person's been calling me. They're consistent. They're serious about their job. All right, so if they have to sell, they're going to remember you. They're going to pick up the phone. Okay, so let me give you the stats. Normally, calling just listed, just sold, let's say, your contact per dial ratio is going to be somewhere between 10 and 15%. Mine was 12. So that means every time I dial 100 people, I'll actually talk to 12. With old expireds, it's probably around 6 to 8. Okay, you dial 100, you'll talk to 6 to 8 people, but they're very valuable conversations. All right, once you go through that list once, you can keep scrubbing it down till you'll have a very valuable list. Now, that being said, it doesn't matter what they say to you on the first time you go through that list, we're never moving again. You're never moving again I totally understand, such a great area. But when you were moving, where were you going? How soon did you want to be there? What was important about it? Tell me about your job. Whatever their reasons were, get into conversation with these people, because if you do it right, you're going to be following up. You're going to be following up. If you're with us, Berkshire Hathaway, you can put them on Market Watch. You can put them on Buy Side. You can also load them into the Resource Center and send them out a newsletter once a month. You can create a tremendous database, or I should say add to your current database, all right, using the old expireds. It's a tremendous lead source. It's a forgotten lead source. Let me tell you what the people who actually do this tell me all the time. Will you stop talking about that? Because the ones who are actually doing it are getting results doing it. Okay, folks, so there's just another way, the old expires. Yes, call the new expires. Yes, you should be doing for sale by owners. You should be calling your sphere of influence all the time, at least once a quarter, with valuable information. And you should also be, working just listed, just sold, having open houses, active open houses. All of those work. This seems to be a forgotten source that people just forget about. I mean, I don't know why. It's a legitimate source where you can develop a whole bunch of appointments, leads, and people to follow up on. So I would consider adding that to your prospecting habits. Hope to talk to you soon. Thanks for listening.